Good morning, I'm here at Wansford on the Nene Valley Railway. Today is a special day for the railway as the Bahamas London Midlands Scottish Jubilee class locomotive is visiting this weekend and next. So I thought I'd take an opportunity to ride on the historic loco, well behind the historic loco, but also show you some of what the Nene Valley Railway has got to offer. So join me as we explore the railway, its stations and take a ride behind the famous Bahamas locomotive. Wansford is the headquarters of the Nene Valley Railway. You've got the station building there. It's not original to the line. Actually, it might be the line, but not original to this location. It was moved here once the railway became a heritage railway. You've got the wonderful Wansford signal box that controls all the signals and points around here. Literally, here we are above the Nene. Got a siding down there. But most of it is behind the station here. There's the yard, the sheds, the turntable, all the locomotives are based here, and it's getting very busy today already. We've got about an hour before the Bahamas leaves for the first time. I'm catching the rail car that's running just before it, so I've got about 45 minutes. I'm going to head down to Overton for Ferry Meadows, see what's there and also catch the locomotive. But first I'm going to show you a little bit around Wansford. In addition to the Bahamas, the orange and cream Swedish Railcar, known as Helga, is running today. She's going to be coming out of the shed shortly. Nene Valley Railway also has a Class 45 peak diesel, numerous shunting locomotives, a rescue crane, and has recently taken ownership of a former Transport for Wales Pacer, Class 143 602. Fortunately, the Pacer's not running today. I think that is running midweek timetable. But yeah, so as you can see, there's lots going on here at Wansford. You've got carriage sheds, you've got the locomotive sheds. There also seems to be this little steam engine, which isn't a resident of the railway. Not sure what that is or why it's here. Well, I'm assuming it's here for the Bahamas weekend, but we'll investigate that a bit further. But yeah, so there is lots going on. And there in the distance you can see a Swedish steam locomotive as well, along with a Jack Hunslet tank engine. So yeah, we'll hopefully see Bahamas and Helga come out of the sheds and get onto the railway. But yeah, let's go to Overton. So I'm now on board the Swedish Railcar Helga. This is an SJ Class Y7 railcar, number 1212. It's the kind of only one preserved, certainly in the UK. I've come to the back of the railcar, but at the front you've got the diesel engine, which is making an absolute wonderful racket. I'll put in a clip of that in a minute. But yeah, so I'm going to take this down one stop down to Overton, where then I can see the Bahamas coming through and also explore what there is to do at Overton. So on board the railcar, all the seating is bay seating, four facing each other. It's in two compartments split with a door, and there are open cabs where you board the train, and there's also a driver's position. The other end, as you'll see in the clip, has the engine and exhaust pipe coming through the centre of this open cab to essentially where that skylight is. But yeah, so it's quite nice to see a Swedish railcar running around in the middle of England. So I'm now here at Overton for Ferry Meadows, just nipped into the cafe and got a coffee. The station building here used to be the goods station at Fletton Junction on the East Coast Main Line, just south of Peterborough. You can hear the rail car off in the distance. I'm going to wait here for its return. The Bahamas should come through before. I'm also going to have a wander around here because there is a bit of history. There is also another yard here, and the mail rail exhibition. Adjacent is Ferry Meadows Country Park. Has a water sports site, lots of open space. There's a miniature railway as well, and pedalos and things like that that are open during the summer, so great place for a day out. The railway here doesn't have a car park itself, but you can park in Ferry Meadows and catch a train from here, or park in Peterborough, get the train to here, visit Ferry Meadows, get the train back, have a day out on the Nene Valley Railway. So explore what else is here, see the Bahamas, catch a train, back up to Wansford to get the next Bahamas trip. So I'm here in 325000, the mock-up cab of a Class 325 Royal Mail multiple unit. Very similar to Class 319 in terms of how it runs. It's electrified train, but this is literally just a mock-up cab. That's the cab door and the stairs leading back down. But I thought I'd give you a quick show around this as I explore what else there is here at Overton. So yeah, enjoy this short clip of Class 325. Also here at Overton is Hagar, an unpowered carriage of Helga. It's being restored and will join Helga soon, doubling capacity when it's just a rail car running up and down the Nene Valley Railway. So I've got a few minutes here at Overton, so I thought I'd tell you about the Nene Valley Railway itself. It runs about 7.5 miles from Yarwell through to Peterborough. Not connected to the main station at Peterborough, it has its own little station next to Rail World. The line used to connect up to the Ely line and Peterborough East Station, and ran all the way through to Northampton, and also connected to the Stamford line. So yeah, it used to be a much greater line, the Midland Railway, London North Western Railway. Ran through, but yeah, so it was purchased by the Preservation Society in 1974 and has been in operation since then. It's expanded slightly over the years. It's got a connection to the main line just south of Peterborough, that runs on a loop through and connects just before the next station down, Orton Mere. And yeah, so there's the 5 stations on the line: Yarwell Junction, which is terminus; Wansford, the main headquarters; here at Overton for Ferry Meadows, Orton Mere, and then Peterborough. And yeah, trains run most weekends throughout the summer, midweek as well. Check online to find it out, but yeah, and most of the time tickets are reasonably well priced. Bit more this weekend as it's a special event, and there's lots of special events going on as well, like there's fish and chip trains, cream tea trains. I think there's recently been a gin train. In the winter, obviously, there is the Santa specials, but yeah, check out the website. The link is on in the description below. But yeah, so hopefully the Bahamas will be here soon, and then the railcar back to Peterborough. So yeah, let's head back to Peterborough. Not Peterborough, Wansford. Let's head back to Wansford. I'm now on board one of the Nene Valley Railway's compartment coaches. Currently got this compartment to myself. We're going to be running up to Yarwell behind the Bahamas, which is working this bit tender first. We have about 15-minute turnaround at Yarwell whilst the locomotive changes ends. We then run back through Wansford, Overton, Orton Mere, down to Peterborough, where we've got about 20 minutes before once again whilst the locomotive changes ends before we come back up to Wansford. So yeah, I'm going to take the full round trip here. I'll show you Yarwell and Peterborough whilst we're there changing ends, and then later I'm going to be jumping back on Helga to go down to Orton Mere. But for now, here's some of the scenery around the Nene Valley Railway. So we've now reached Yarwell Junction. This is the terminus of the current Nene Valley Railway. There never used to be a station here, it only opened in 2007. However, it is, as the name suggests, the location of the former Yarwell Junction. The signal box used to be just the other side of where the carriages are here. This is where the lines to Northampton and Market Harborough divided. So trains would either go up to Stamford Way, or they'd continue on along to Northampton. This is where the locomotive changes ends, so I believe it's just being uncoupled at the western end of the train, and so I'm going to go down to the eastern end to see it come round before jumping back on and going all the way down to Peterborough. So I've made sure to come back down to the compartment quickly and jump back on board. Although we've got a little bit of time here, I don't want to miss the train. There's no road access to the Arwell station. There are local footpaths, so it's about a mile to a local village. About a mile and a half here from Wansford. As I said, the station never used to be here, only opened in 2007. This was just the junction of the original railway, connecting Peterborough with Northampton and Market Harbour. So I'm now here at the eastern terminus of the line, Peterborough Nene Valley. This is about 10 minutes from the city centre. It's also home to Rail World, which you can see behind me. There is rail access from the Nene Valley Railway. Access to Rail World is independent of the Nene Valley Railway, although they do work closely together. It's not a high charge into Rail World, but it has got one of Britain's only monorail cars from the Birmingham Airport. Maglev even, sorry, not monorail. It's also got RTV 31. So yeah, it's well worth coming in and having a visit. You can get tickets here for the railway, so if you get a train into mainline Peterborough or come into the city, you can park here, cheap day parking, £3 at Rail World, and then get the NVR down to Wansford and have an explore of what else is about. Bahamas is just changing ends again, and then we're off back down to Wansford. Then I'm going to be having a bit of lunch, jumping back onto Helga and visiting the final station on the Nene Valley Railway, Autumn Mere. So I'm back at Wansford. The weather has started to turn. Behind me on platform 4 is a couple of carriages, second-hand bookshop. Also this green one houses a model railway. This covered one is a little museum about the history of the railway, a bit about the Great Train Robbery, and an interactive go at sorting mail on one of the mail trains. So yeah, another thing to do at Wansford. I'm now going to get the train down to Autumn Mere and then back here to Wansford to finish the day. So I'm now at Autumn Mere station. As you might be able to tell, the weather has definitely taken a more British summer turn, and it's now not massively heavy, but it is now raining. So Autumn Mere is again on the banks of the Nene, adjacent to Autumn Lock. There's an area here for whitewater, kayaking, etc. But it's a very quiet station, probably other than Yarwell, which is just a platform to access countryside walks. This is probably the quietest on the Nene Valley. Got about half an hour here before the rail car comes back. This is where the passing loop is on the line, Wansford and here. So it's timetabled that the rail car has to wait till the Bahamas has arrived from Wansford before heading back. So yeah, I'm wandering around to the other platform now. I'm gonna find myself a vaguely dry spot to stand, and then I'll give you a bit of an overview of the Bahamas, what else is going on at the Nene Valley Railway, and then that's about it from me. So yeah, I'll see you in a moment on the platform. Unfortunately, the weather has resulted in me hiding in the least attractive part of the Nene Valley Railway, part of Autumn Mere platform under the parkway. So, tell you a bit about Bahamas, the locomotive that is the guest attraction this weekend and next. It was constructed in 1934 in Glasgow for the London, Midland and Scottish Railway. Operated under the London, Midland and Scottish and under British Railways. In 1961 it received experimental modifications, resulting in it having its fairly unique double chimney, which you'll be able to see if you look at it closely. It also had various other modifications made aimed at improving the efficiency of steam engines. Unfortunately, it was then retired from service in 1966. It's now a preserved, running around, operates on heritage lines and also is mainline certified, so does mainline tours, so you can enjoy a trip out of London or out along the Settle and Carlisle line. The Bahamas Locomotive is owned and operated by the Bahamas Locomotive Society. I'm going to put their link in the description below. So yeah, check it out. But that's what it's all about this weekend and next. Bit more about what's going on at the Nene Valley Railway. I'm going to hopefully have this edited before the bank holiday weekend, so this can come out in time for August bank holiday Monday. Excuse me whilst I get the actual bit of notes, research. So in the next coming few weeks and months at the Nene Valley Railway, next weekend, August bank holiday weekend, is the Fabulous 50s event with the Bahamas Locomotive, lots of other festivities, family fun, etc. on the Saturday, Sunday and Monday, so make sure you come along for that. Buy online, but tickets probably will be available on the day, but buy online just in case, always good. But yeah, they're on the Nene Valley Railway website or turn up at any of the stations. There are also fishermen's specials, fish and chip trains, so you join at Wansford in the evening, do a round trip, you get a nice fish and chip supper. Excellent event. The 9th of October, behind a peak diesel, either class 44, 45 or 46. And the 23rd of October, there is also a steam-hauled fisherman special. They're the last two for this year. Finally, the 8th, 9th and 10th of October, there is the Three Peaks weekend here at the Nene Valley Railway, when our own Class 45 peak is joined by a Class 44 and a Class 46 to have an exciting weekend of diesel-hauled festivities. Yeah, that's about it from the Nene Valley Railway. I'm going to wait, hopefully in the dry, until Helga comes back from Peterborough, take me back to Wansford, and then for me it is off to home, and hopefully a nice warming cup of tea. So thank you for watching. Please check out your local heritage railway. If you can make it over to Peterborough and the Nene Valley, excellent little railway. There are heritage railways across the country. Just Google your location heritage railway, I'm sure something will come up. But yeah, love your local railway, support them. As with everything, they've struggled through COVID, but these are preserving our railway history. So yeah, check out your local railway. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.